Hi there, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about this set of cake colors from Holbein. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Irit. I'm an intuitive artist based in Austria and Europe, and on my channel I share my artsy adventures. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Write me a comment if you've tried these or you're interested in trying them. Stay tuned till the end to hear what I think about these. All the details will be below, all the links, including timestamps. So let's get into these cake colors. I was very intrigued when I saw them. They look like kids' paints, but are they really? They certainly cost a lot more. I'm going to unbox these for you and swatch them, and then I'll share my final thoughts. Also, I invite you to check out my new mini class inspired by the Greek islands. It's painting and sketching the Greek islands. It's a super fun short class that you can take in a couple of hours, and I've gotten some great feedback from students that have taken the class and created beautiful, beautiful pieces of artwork inspired by the Greek islands, you know, summer and all those good things, beach, Mediterranean, which leads me to my next housekeeping item, which is that I will be launching very, very soon a monthly membership, a sort of Patreon type of thing. And there's going to be a special offer if you join in the beginning, and we're going to do all kinds of like summer related stuff. Because it is a new offer, I want to kind of build it together with you. And so if you enjoy what I do here, if you find it inspiring and you want more of it, there's a lot more included, and I will share all the details, and you can check out the website and see more of what's included in it, including a free taste, and it's going to be super affordable, a couple of cups of coffee a month, and it's just going to be a fun place for us to create and be inspired. And hopefully I will also be adding some like Zoom calls where we can draw and sketch together. So I'm working on all of these things. But so just the specs of this set. I bought mine at Peter's Art, which is a shop, an online shop, also in Berlin, in Germany. This is by Holbein, a Japanese brand, very well known also for their amazing watercolor and gouache. And this is the 24 opaque set. There is a 12 paint opaque set, and there are also two sets of transparent watercolors, 12 and 24. This is the only set that I've tried, and I don't plan on getting any of the others. If you have those and you want to share your thoughts, please do so in the comments. I would love to hear what other people think about it. So as you can see, it came with these pens being slightly loose, but nothing broke, and I'll be talking about the packaging a lot more in my final thoughts. Okay, let's start swatching. I'm using this little Hahnemühle 100% cotton sketchbook, which is really nice for watercolor and gouache, but it is really expensive, I think, a bit too much for my taste. And I'm using a mini majestic dagger brush from Royal and Langnickel. Okay, the first color is lemon, and yeah, it's a classic lemon color. The second is yellow. The third is called deep yellow. The fourth is vermilion, and you can see how creamy and intense these paints are. The formula is really lovely to work with. Then we have carmine, classic carmine color. And the next one is crimson, which is more of a bluish red. So you have a good selection here of primary and secondary colors. This is actually a nice addition. This is called, yeah, I can never pronounce it, but it's like a yellow brilliant, just with a French name. And I would say it's more of an orangey color, like a Naples yellow reddish, but I found it to be very useful. Then we have Viridian, and now this was Hooker's green. Then light green, this is a color I can't stand, but I know some people will like it. And now we have two great greens in my book. We have olive green and greenish yellow. That's the next one. Both of these, I really, really enjoy them. And now we're moving to the second part. And we are starting with a lovely pinkish color. I was happy that this was included. This is Opera. Super intense, almost neon fluorescent pink. Then we have Violet, also very, very intense. The next is Cobalt Blue, beautiful Cobalt Blue, I must say. Then we have Turquoise Blue. Next is Ultramarine, classic color, always a winner in my book, my choice of blue. Then we have Prussian Blue, so a very classic choice of color, and personally I'm very happy about the addition of that opera color. Now we have Yellow Ochre, probably my favorite earth tone. Next, Raw Umber, no thank you. Next we have Burnt Umber. The next one is Burnt Sienna. As I said, a very, very classic choice of color. Then we have Sepia. And the last one is Black, and there's a tube of white paint as well. Okay, another feature that I want to show you is that they kind of screw in. The pans have this thing, and here there is a circle, and they kind of click in, I would say. Yeah, there's no need to turn, but they do still move around a little bit. I haven't traveled with them, so I don't know if, you know, they might crack, but that's how it's built, and they are, yeah, pretty much stuck there. Let's see. One got away, so making sure they're all intact. Yeah, I think this would be safe to travel with. It is quite flat, but still you get like a ton of paint and a ton of mixing surface. So this might work really. I think it would actually be a really fun palette to take out. Maybe not like fly with, or if you're like really, really tight on space, but to just go out to, you know, like to paint outside. There's something just very, very friendly and non-threatening about this palette. This is how I feel. So let's start with the pros. First of all, the paint. I find it to be high quality. I really like the formulation of it. It is sort of like watercolor gouache hybrid, I would say, because it seems to be kind of more matte, and I enjoy using it more like I use gouache, which tends to be a little bit like thicker and creamier with less water than I usually use watercolors, at least some of the time. I feel like with these, as I do with gouache, a lot of the times when you water them down too much, they really lose their luminosity because of that kind of matte finish, which doesn't really happen with watercolors. So I really enjoy using these with kind of that thicker consistency. So adding just a little bit of water. They're very, very easy to re-wet. And as I said, they kind of behave more like gouache, but they're not crumbly. So they kind of stay in their pans more like watercolors. Gouache can sometimes get really crumbly and dry and kind of fall out. These don't seem to do that. They're quite creamy and nice. I think the color selection is good here. What I did is I curated a palette of the colors that I'm really into right now in the top tier. So I actually don't have to use the bottom one unless I want to, of course. So you can kind of move things around. Of course, then the stickers with the names won't match, but I don't really care. I find with these colors, because they are opaque, it's really easy to see most of the time which colors they are. Easily tell. It gets a bit dark, it gets a bit more challenging with the darker colors because they tend to look the same, but with most of the colors it's very easy to see, so I don't need the names. You can of course also create a swatch to make sure that you're not confused. So I really like the formula of these, and I like the performance. They're very intense, and they're beautiful when you use them in a more creamy consistency. And then also once it's dry, you can layer on top with an even drier consistency and really get all kinds of cool layering effects. Another thing that I like about these is that I feel like the shape of them really encourages me to play, because they feel a bit like kids paints, because you have a lot of space like in each pan. So I feel like it's not so annoying to contaminate the colors. It's also easy to clean them up if you get them dirty. But it's just sometimes when I have like a small palette of watercolors or gouache, I tend to be a bit more careful with contaminating colors. But here, because you have like such a large surface to work with, it's really encouraging me to just play around and not get too precious with it. The white is also good, and it's nice to have it. I think it's quite useful with these kinds of colors when you're painting with that sort of gouache type of experience, and color mixing. White is important. So it's nice that it's included in the set. I wouldn't mind if it was just like in a pan, but you know, I'll take what I can get. This is the opaque set. I haven't tried the transparent set, and I don't know if I will, because I feel like actually I'm happy to use this as an opaque set. Oh, another pro I would say is that you get a large mixing space, which I always enjoy and like. So let's talk about the cons. The first thing is the packaging. It is very, very bulky, and it takes a lot of like real estate. The second thing is that you can't really change anything here except the order. They don't sell colors open stock. So that's always a problem. I never buy curated sets of pretty much anything anymore, because I know there are going to be colors that I will never use. In this case, I did decide to get it because I was just like so curious and it looked so inviting. But yeah, that's a definite negative. So make sure you look and see if, like, check out my video and then other people's videos, and also about the other sets, to see if you like the colors. It is quite a versatile set. Maybe I would add like another, like a cobalt teal or something like this, or a cobalt violet to a set, but it's a really nice selection of colors. But yeah, the fact that you don't get like flexibility with this, it is what it is. You can move the pans around, and as I said, you can curate like a smaller palette, and then even just take this on the go without the lower level if you don't need it. Like for me right now, I would probably just take this one and leave the other half at home. And I think those are actually my cons. Just the fact that it's like so bulky. There's a lot of kind of wasted space in the packaging. I think probably, you know, square pots. I know some brands make similar things with like square pans. That would probably be a better use of the surface. I think you could fit a brush here, so you know, you could use it. And that is kind of my only critique. If I could perfect this, I would make them square, so it's a better use of the area, and I would sell an empty palette with all the colors in open stock, so you can create your own palette, because I'm really enjoying the formula of these, and there's something so simple, and again, it just takes you back to those kids art time where you didn't get too fussy. I mean, even though these are expensive, so you know, I wouldn't give these, probably I wouldn't give them to my kids. Well, now maybe okay, but when they were a bit younger, if I gave them such a palette, it would be all brown and half used in like one session, because they really dig in their brushes into them. And these colors can get intense. With this palette, I don't spray it completely like I do with my watercolor palette. I just drop like a drop of water into them because I don't want it to get too watery. I prefer to use them in a creamy consistency, but they reconstitute and re-wet beautifully. Like the formula here is great. So I hope you find this useful. Let me know if this is something that is interesting to you. The lower tier, it has like these hooks here, you can see, and it's very easy to just attach it and also remove it. You just slide it to one side and there it goes. So yeah, let me know what you think about these, and I'll see you soon in another video. Take care, bye bye.